pointed out the defects there. You understand? What defects are there in consideration of this grammatical rules or rhetorical grammar and rhetoric, Alunkar Shastra, because he was teaching that subject. So he pointed out the defects. And this was the first time that Pandit was defeated in his life. He was never defeated. Everywhere he was winning. Here he was defeated. So he became very morose. So, this first time I am defeated, he became morose. So Mahaprabhu then told, Savidyatan Mapidjaya. Savidyatan Mapidjaya. कौन सा लिखा Mapidjaya. हाँ সেই বিদ্যার ফল জানেও নিশ্চয় কৃষ্ণ পাদ পদ্মে যদি চিতবৃত্তি হয় Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said, Sa Vidya Tanmatir Jaya. That is called Vidya. That is called Vidya, real education or real knowledge. That makes a person to surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. You understand? Sa Vidya Tanmatir Jaya. You understand? Sesha Vidyar Bhalan, Chaitanya Bhagavatam is written like this. Sesha Vidyar Phalo Janiyo Nishchoy, Krishna Pad Padmajadi Chitta Buddhi Roy. That is the result of real Vidya. If someone has acquired such Vidya, that naturally his mind and heart and mind will be attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the result of real Vidya. He becomes humble and is only attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is the result of real Vidya. He is so humble, he is never so popular. But this Pandit is so popular. He is not attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. That means he has never acquired real Vidya, or education, real knowledge. Knowledge in mode of goodness, let's say. What knowledge he has acquired is in the mode of ignorance, is of Vidya, ignorance, Jod Vidya. So he has become so popular. Mahaprabhu taught him. So he was so morose. So he couldn't say anything, admitted his defeat. Then Mahaprabhu told him, all right, Pandit Mahasaya, you go and take a rest this night. Next morning we'll meet. So that night that Pandit met the goddess of speech. The goddess of speech, Saraswati Devi, at night told him, you are very fortunate that the person you met today, from whom you got defeat, is my husband. So how can I help you before my husband? He was thinking, why goddess of speech is not helping me? And so goddess of speech said, you are so fortunate. This is my mercy to you, that you have served me, that so I have this boon to you. So this is my mercy that you made Supreme Personality Godhead, not ordinary person, Supreme Personality Godhead. So tomorrow morning, early in the morning, you go to him and surrender yourself at his lotus feet. And that will be the success of your life. So this is there. What is real Vidya? Real Vidya comes from the Supreme Personality Godhead. It is spiritual. knowledge. Knowledge, mode of goodness. More appropriately, we may say, knowledge is mode of pure goodness, not middle goodness also. It's pure goodness. It's spiritual knowledge. That's the real vidya. Otherwise, it is avidya. It's knowledge and ignorance. It cannot be called vidya. So, that will naturally attract. They attracted the person towards this material opulence and material enjoyment, and towards this four things: eating, sleeping, mating, and depending. No more. That's not vidya at all. This is what Krishna says this thing in the Maharaja. So one should acquire that knowledge. That is real knowledge. That is the real vidya, education. In 10th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said that Tesang Sattva-Juttanang Bhavatam Pridipurvakam Dadami Buddhi-yogam Tam Jena Mang Pajanti Te Tesang eva anukampartham aham jnana-jagam nasayami atma-bhavasto jnana-dipena bhasvata. 10th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, those who are always attached to me, Sattva-Juttanang Bhavatam Pridipurvakam, and are doing my bhajan with pleasure in their heart. Dadami buddhi yogam, I give them intelligence, that is pure intelligence that comes from Krishna, how they can come to me. And again the next verse says, Tesang eva anukampartham aham ajnana tamam nasayami atma-bhavasto jnana-dipena vasvata. Anukampa, out of mercy, I give them real knowledge. Real knowledge is spiritual knowledge. In their heart, I enkindle the lamp of knowledge and dispel dark of ignorance. Ignorance is compared to darkness. Knowledge is compared to light, enlightenment. Jnana-dipena bhasvata. That means those who are always attached to the lotus feet of Krishna and doing bhajan with pleasure, pridipurna bhajan, under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master, they get the real knowledge that comes from Krishna. That is what Krishna says. All right. How this my Pandit could quote the exact verse? He was thinking, I was not quoting from any shastra, my own verses, made verses, eloquently, extempore speaking. He was amazed. But Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who knows everything. It's not impossible on his part. People don't understand this thing. This is one thing. And it was defeated, became more. Mahaprabhu has said in Sikhastaka, first verse, Chidadarpan Marjanam Bhaumaha Davagni Nirvapanam Sriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipade Purna Mridha Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Sri Krishna Sankirtanam gives 7 results. 7 results. You understand? First verse, 7 results. And who does Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, you get the 7 results. You understand that verse? You know. I am not going to explain it fully. One thing is there, Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. This is most important. Vidya Sabda is there. What is there? Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. This Sri Krishna Sankirtan, the chanting of holy name, is the life of Vidya Vadhu. Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. Vidya is like a Vadhu. Vidya means this education, knowledge, real knowledge, spiritual knowledge, spiritual education is like a bodhu. Bodhu means a just lady, newly married lady, just wife, who is humble. Is humble. That word bodhu, that means she has chastity. Chastity. The chaste lady is never puffed up. She is by nature very humble. She never walks straight like this. She puts on veil on her head like this. And this bending, he walks slowly, stealthily. He is not puffed up like this, walking this way. This bodhu. Bodhu means newly married lady, chaste lady. Chaste lady, chastity. So, vidya bodhu jivanu. The real vidya are chastity. Is chastity. Soti vidya. And which is not real vidya, jod vidya, material education, is asoti vidya, unchaste. Unchaste education. This is chaste education. You understand? So nowadays, all are getting this unchaste education from so-called school, colleges, universities. So all are becoming very proud, popped up. Even the ladies, and they become popped up. They never put on saris, or they put on saris, never put veil on their head. They demand equal rights with the men, equal right we have, and they become so puffed up, without veil, naked, so walking in the street, straight like this, you see. This is unchaste, no chastity, you see, also the vidya. You understand? This is the result of unchaste education. And real education is just education, satitva, bodhutva. The education, material education has no chastity, no bodhutva, no satitva, no bodhutva. It is unchaste. That's one point. Yes. Three questions. Raya Ramananda, and Raya Ramananda answered. So Mahaprabhu asked, Vidya Madhye Kon Vidya Sar? Raya Ramananda answered, Krishna Bhakti Vina Vidya Nahi Hara. You understand? Mahaprabhu said in that answer. Mahaprabhu asked, which Vidya is real Vidya? You understand? Vidya Madhye Kon Vidya Sar? Raya Ramananda said, Krishna Bhakti Vina Vidya Nahi Hara. Krishna Bhakti is the real Vidya. No other Vidya is there. It's Krishna Bhakti. The Vidya that gives Krishna Bhakti is the real Vidya. That my Pandit had said. Sesha Vidyar Phaladanya Nishya Krishna Patradhaniti Chitta Bhakti. My Pandit said the same thing as Keshav Goswami. So Pandit, that is real Vidya which makes one surrender oneself to the lotus feet of Krishna. His heart and soul completely attached to Krishna. Then that person is considered to have gotten real Vidya. That's the result of real Vidya. The real Vidya. It's not the result of real Vidya to become puffed up, proud. Becomes humble, like a just lady, but good for That Mahaprabhu's teaching is there also. Yes. What is sattvic knowledge? What is rajasic knowledge? Knowledge in mode of passion, knowledge in mode of ignorance. Prabhupada Maharaj said it that in the purport. So I didn't speak about that. Prabhu said Next morning, when that Keshav Kasmi Pandit met my Pandit, Srimad Mahaprabhu, and surrendered himself at his lotus feet, said that goddess of speech, Saraswati Devi, told him that you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I surrender myself unto your lotus feet. Mahaprabhu blessed him and warned him, don't disclose this thing to anybody. That Mahaprabhu, the Saraswati Devi told this thing and he surrendered, and Mahaprabhu, my Pandit is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Don't disclose this thing to anybody. You understand? If you disclose, then you will be at once destroyed, burnt to ashes. You will die at once. Don't disclose. So, someone put this question, and Mahaprabhu told this thing, disclose how this story came to be known. One put this question from America. He wrote me a letter. How this could be known? Mahaprabhu want not disclose. Then what will you answer? You can't answer anything. Mahaprabhu himself will never disclose, and he want the case of Kashmir Pandit not to disclose. No third person is there who knew this thing. How the story was known? This question. One thing is there. Mahaprabhu told him, don't disclose. As long as Mahaprabhu is present. You understand? Don't disclose. If it disappears, Mahaprabhu, this will be disclosed. For glorification of Mahaprabhu. That's it. As long as Mahaprabhu was known, this was not disclosed. After that, it was disclosed. And this is one thing. Another thing, point is that those who are liberated souls, those are associates of Mahaprabhu, those who are writing this topic on Srimad Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Mangala, etc. They are your devotees. They are associates of Srimad Mahaprabhu. They are devotees of Srimad. They have this spiritual vision, the first sight. They knew past, present and future. So they knew all these things. So when they wrote these things. That is what is lost. And it was written after the disappearance of Srimad Mahaprabhu, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, all these things, not during that. So this came to be known. You understand? One devotee from America put such question. You understand? Sometimes some funny questions are coming. They put. They asked that, they couldn't get answer. So they asked me for answer. One question was like that, regarding Sakhi Gopal. Sakhi Gopal story. The deity Sakhi Gopal deity told that young Brahmin, you walk ahead, I'll follow you. You just hear the tinkling of my nupur. Thereby you could understand that I am going. Don't look back. When you look back, or when you look back, I'll be there. I'll never move forward. That was condition. And every day you cook rice. That is 5 chawal. Certain measurement, 1 and 1/4 of a seer, 1 seer plus 1/4 seer. You understand? It's 5 pa, 5 pa, 1 plus 1/4 seer, measurement. Such rice you will cook every day in the afternoon, and you go and I follow you. That was the condition. And that young Brahmin did that. Every day he cooked that amount of rice and is going ahead. Gopal deity was following. One devotee asked this question. That was the condition. So when that Brahmin was cooking rice and offering, he must be looking at the deity. How can he offer? He will put the plate before the deity, then do this thing. What do you say? Bell? Ringing a bell, prostrating, offering. How is it? How the condition was kept up? Must be looking at the deity. How the condition was kept up. Do you understand? He asked such question. Yes, there. Nobody could answer it. So, that year, some 2 years back, that, what is that? Is now Jewish from San Diego. Badrinath, yes. Badrinath asked me this question, this question is there. We can give some real answer, befitting answer to it. So, some devotee said, ask Govinda Maharaj, he will answer. So he asked me that question there in my book, Sasat. So I answered, yes, condition was kept up. That Brahmin was such a dear devotee of the Lord, he was a first-class devotee. So he was doing everything in meditation. He was not looking back. In meditation he was cooking, meditation he was offering. Then say, oh, this is the yes. As you are thinking, then like this suffering, this no such thing. Everything in meditation. Very witty questions there. We never put such questions. Here we will never find such questions. Neither of these. Students will put such questions. Such questions they're putting because mind is something different. Western mind. We cannot think of all these things. We never. So many questions sometimes come like this to me. While narrating the story, this came to me. That one asked this question, how it disclosed? Mahaprabhu warned him not to disclose. How this story came to be known?
At least they're asking the right person.
Funny question. Returns, isn't it? Nobody returns. That's my supreme abode. While nobody returns, then how there will return? Why will follow? There are 2 types of jivas, mukta jiva and baddha jiva. Conditioned souls and liberated souls. Nitya mukta and nitya baddha. Eternally liberated, eternally conditioned. You understand? 2 types are there. And those who are conditioned, they will be liberated, they will be known as baddha mukta. They were baddha, they were conditioned, now they are liberated. When there is that category, mukta baddha, once mukta, liberated, and then baddha, then condition is there in that category. They are mentioned anywhere, no mention. You understand? So some say like that soul falls down from spiritual world, how it will be. Maharaja said, anadi bahirmukha. Krishna only says, anadi bahirmukha. Ape maya tare deva. They cannot say. They said anadi, which the beginning cannot be traced out. From where or when falls down. They say anadi. They never say anything about this. This is only speculation. Isn't it? Only speculation. And it is not at all a fact that soul falls down from spiritual world. Only those are Maharajas, they come voluntarily out of mercy here. They are liberated souls. They never become conditioned. But the deliver of the conditioned souls, or by the order of the, or by the will of the joy and be joy, were cursed by poor Kumaras, came here, demons for 3 lives. Vishnu, Lord Vishnu wanted so. They will fight with it. But not in ordinary cases. It's only by Lord's will, for special purpose. The conditioned soul got Sataran. Satan. Conditioned soul, Sata achieved. How will it go? This debate will be there this time. I couldn't think of it. Only one thing is there I found, that Narada Pancharatra says, and Bhakti Sandarbha, Priti Sandarbha also said, Jiva Goswami has said, that Jivan Mukta Bandhan. Jivan Mukta's Bandhan. Those who are Jivan Mukta, become Jivan Mukta, they may be conditioned. That's something else. What is Jivan Mukta? Jivan Mukta, what is Jivan Mukti? That's different topic. That's not the souls in the spiritual world. That's there in the material world. Those who come to this path of devotional service and under the guidance of Bonafide Guru surrender, engaged in this devotional service, they become liberated. They become Jivan Mukta. That means in this very life they become liberated. They are known as Jivan Mukta. They may be conditioned. Priti Sandarbha says, Bhakti Sandarbha says this thing. You understand? It is said in Priti Sandarbha. They are here in this material world. They are not in the spiritual world. If they commit some offense at the lotus feet of Krishna, they will be again in bondage. It is for them, not for this eternally liberated souls. No. That I was thinking of deliberating this and just
They'll definitely ask you.
opening the pages of Shastra, and I found this much only, and nothing more. Especially this Tamal Krishna Goswami is putting this question. Very often, previously he has put that question to me. I have answered this. Again this time he has given this thing for discussion, Jewish meeting. Some research group is there, doing research. I am is one of them. I can find first. I took it, and he really was a speaker, this spoke about that. It's not following some spiritual one. Someone asked me, look, you said. If that's a negative mostly, that negative took place. Some people Egyptian meeting. But no Maharaja. Maharaja has all said this thing. On earth, beginning cannot be traced out. Where and when the forgetfulness leaves. Most probably that point the jiva goes into sees so gets some reverse Yamukti. He goes up to Brahman platform. Brahman falls. There is sadhu. They fall down from there. That is the latest point they go. Not beyond that. So Maharaja said so. Most of them fall down to Brahman platform. That all Maharaja said. That I say. Following Maharaja. Not my own conversion. And I know it. How the Krishna says that debate will take place.
Next year.
Paper will be published. So I am researching. I find this much. Kriti Sandhava and Bhakti Sandhava. Only Jivan Muktas. They may be in bondage. If they commit any offense. They are in here in material world. Nobody falls from spiritual. I think Srimad Krishna may be meaning these things, Jivan Muktas. Not ever liberated souls.
As for actions, that action in accordance with duty, which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced fruitive results, is called action in the mode of goodness. Purport. Regulated occupational duties as prescribed in the scriptures in terms of the different orders and divisions of society, performed without attachment or proprietary rights, and therefore without any love or hatred, and performed in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the Supreme, without self-satisfaction or self-gratification, are called actions.
Work performed in mode of goodness. Three types of karma according to metal modes of nature. Sattvic karma, Rajasic karma and Tamasic karma. Here Krishna speaks of Sattvic karma, work performed in mode of goodness. What is that translation again?
As for actions, that action in accordance with duty, which is performed without attachment, without love or hate, by one who has renounced fruitive results, is called action in the mode of goodness.
Action without attachment, without love or hate, and without expecting any result for one's any gain, matter of gain. The work that is done in Krishna consciousness for pleasure of Krishna is called Sattvic karma. The work done in mode of goodness. This is in a nutshell we can say like this. In Bhagavad Gita, there is mention of different types of karma. Karma, akarma, vikarma. previously mentioned. Karma means fruitive work, and vikarma means prohibited work, prohibited in Vedas, sinful activities. And akarma means that karma performed for the pleasure of Krishna or Vishnu. That's akarma. So sattvic karma is also that type of karma that is performed for the pleasure of Krishna or performed in Krishna consciousness. That is sattvic karma, karma performed in mode of goodness. So there is no attachment to it, no love, no hatred. And it's only performed for the pleasure of Krishna under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master is sattvic karma. And for conditioned souls, Gita prescribes varnasrama dharma according to guna and karma. Chaturvarnya maya srishta guna karma vibhagata. This varnasrama dharma is prescribed by, introduced by, so say like that, Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, for conditioned souls. Because conditioned souls are under the grip of Maya or metal nature, and metal nature has three modes, Sattvagun, Rajagun and Tamagun. So one of these three modes, one mode is predominating in some individual. Three modes are there, but one is predominating. In whom Sattva-guna is predominating is a natural Brahma. In whom Rajaguna is predominating is a natural Kshatriya. In whom there is a mixture of Raja and Tamaguna is a natural Vaishya. In whom Tamaguna is predominating is a natural Sudra. It's already mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So the conditioned souls are divided in according to this Varnam Vibhag division, these four types, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And they will act according to their guna. It's natural. Prakriti tu nijokhyati. Prakriti kriyamanani. Guni karvani sanavasa. Already said. This Prakriti, middle nature, will act. Definitely. It will act. As long as one is under the mode of metal nature and the grip of metal nature, that metal nature must act. But in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord says that work should be done under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master for the service of Krishna, or Vishnu. Jagnathat karmananyatra lokayam karma bandhana. Third chapter of Gita says this thing. One must perform work for Jagya. Jagya Purush means Bhagavan Vishnu or Krishna is non-Jagya Purush. That means work should be performed for Jagya, for the pleasure of Jagya Purush, for the satisfaction of Jagya Purush, as Bhagavan Vishnu or Krishna, under the guidance of the Bonafide spiritual master. Then there will be no reaction of that karma. But there will be reaction. Otherwise there will be reaction. Because if action has its reaction. So Gita teaches how can one be free from reaction. You understand? This is the process. If the work is done as a sacrifice for Yogyam, for Yogyam Purush, then there will be no reaction. And such work is, we'll say, work done in Krishna consciousness. Work done in Krishna consciousness. Sansiddhi Haripushanam, Srimad Bhagavatam says also. Sansiddhi Haripushanam. Lord Hari should be satisfied with that work. Swakarmana Pamudgatyo, Siddhibindati Manavaha. That's the last part of this 18th chapter. Krishna says this thing. And the conditioned soul should work according to his guna for the satisfaction of Krishna. And that work will be an offering towards Krishna. The result of the offer towards Krishna, that's known as karma arpana. Karma arpana. You understand? It's karma arpana. This is low type of bhakti. This is varnashram dharma is low type. Guna bhakti, secondary bhakti. This is for conditioned soul. So work done in Krishna consciousness is, we must say, is sattvic. Is sattvic work. That Krishna says here. Without attachment, without love or hatred, as a matter of duty, should be performed in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master. That's sattvic karma. In other words, we may say that this is varnashram dharma according to varna category. The natural work according to guna, some individual does, if it will be done under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master for the satisfaction of Krishna, then it will be sattvic work, work done in mode of goodness. Also, here one question may be raised that in varnashram dharma there are brahmanas, kshatriyas, vaishyas and shudras, and all of them do their prescribed duties, their occupational duties according to guna, according to the mode of mental nature, or will do, or must, are forced to do. But if that work will be done under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master for the satisfaction of Krishna, that in other words, if that work will be done in Krishna consciousness, then that becomes sattvic work. Though apparently they may be done. Though apparently they may appear as if done in mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of mixed, two modes mixed together, that is passion and tamam, ignorance, Vaishya-karma, or mode of ignorance. You understand? Apparently. But if that will be done in Krishna consciousness as a matter of duty, without attachment, with a lower hatred, then that becomes sattvic karma. Work done in mode of goodness. If there will be attachment, what? If there is love and hatred, raga and dvesh, that cannot be called sattvic karma. That Krishna says. As for example, Arjuna's fighting. Arjuna's fighting is, according to this definition given in this verse, may be called sattvic karma. You understand? Because Arjuna is doing that karma, is fighting, under the guidance of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, His supreme authority. And first Arjuna heard from Krishna these teachings of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and he could understand that his duty is to satisfy or please Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the perfection of life. And when Krishna wants to fight and kill the warriors there in the battlefield of Purified, he did it. He did it. Karisya vajanam tava. Nasta moha smritilabdha tat prasadat mayachyuta sthita smigata sandhya karisya vajanam tava. Arjuna says it was last part of Bhagavad Gita here. Oh Achyuta, O infallible one, O Lord, Supreme Lord, after hearing from you, all my doubts are clarified. All my delusion is gone. Nasta moha smritilabdha. I could now remember what I had forgotten, that I have eternal relationship with you. That I had forgotten, now I remember, hearing from you. Tat prasadam. For the satisfaction of Krishna, or in Krishna, other words, we may say in Krishna consciousness, then that becomes sattvic work. The work done in the mode of goodness. Though apparently the work is done in the mode of passion, apparently, but without attachment or love or hatred, without expecting a result from it, if it is done for the satisfaction of Krishna, then it becomes, the same work becomes sattvic work, the work done in mode of goodness. This is a sort of typical point here, significant point here, tattva here. How the same work can be done in mode of goodness, and the same work will be in mode of passion or ignorance. You understand? It's Kshatriya is natural. Kshatriya is naturally in Rajogun, in mode of passion. Passion is predominating. So it is his natural work, his occupational duty to fight. Yuddhe sapalayanam, shastra karma, subhavajam. That's Kshatriya karma. The work of Kshatriya, he must fight. And he should not go away from battlefield, rather die. Either die or win, one either of the two. He shouldn't go away. That's Kshatriya dharma. Kshatriya dharma. Kshatriya karma. And Arjuna is a Kshatriya, so he has to fight. But if that fighting, that work is done without attachment, without love or hatred, without expecting any result, that work for the pleasure of Krishna or in Krishna, that work becomes sattvic karma. Work done in mode of goodness. That Krishna says. Otherwise, that work is done in mode of passion. You understand? Otherwise, that will be done in mode of passion. But if that work was done as a matter of duty, and Arjuna is doing here as a matter of duty, under the guidance of the Supreme Authority, Krishna, for his pleasure. Karisya vajanam tava. He says, I must do whatever you say. That will please you. So he is doing to please Krishna without attachment, love or hatred, without expecting any result. Karmanya bhadikaraste mahabhaleshu vadachana. Krishna says, you have the right to work, but you have no right in the result of the work, fruit of the work. I am the giver of the fruit. You have no right. So you have only right to work, but I am the giver of right fruit. So karmanyabadhikaraste ma padesu kulasana. That teaching there also. Krishna has given that teaching elsewhere in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So if someone does this acts in this way without expecting any result of the work, and does it in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction or pleasure of Krishna, the guidance of the Bonafide spiritual master, that work becomes sattvic work. Apparently it may be rajasic or tamasic or mixed raja or tama, apparently. But if it is done as a matter of duty, without love or hatred, without attachment for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, then becomes sattvic work. That's what Krishna says. It is said, if those who are following Varnashram Dharma, according to the guna, they must work, they are forced to work. But if they won't do that work in Krishna consciousness, they must go to hell. They will go to hell. They will be in bondage of karma, reaction of their karma. As a result, they will go to Raurava Narko, the hell, named Raurava. You understand? So, but if that work will be done in Krishna consciousness, with Haribhajan, then there will be no reaction. They will never go to hell. So that work becomes this type of work. Work done in Krishna consciousness is sattvic work. Swakarma, they are doing swakarma, swadharma. They are performing swadharma. But they are doing this karma without attachment, without love or hatred, as a matter of duty, under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master in Krishna consciousness. Then there will be no reaction. They will never go to hell. Otherwise they will go to hell. This is also stated. So that the same work becomes sattvic. The same work becomes sattvic when it is done in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master. And the same work will be a fruitive work, or will become rajasic or tamasic if it is not done in Krishna consciousness. This is the difference between the sattvic work, work done in Krishna consciousness, work done without Krishna consciousness.
To conclude, the mode of goodness is supposed to be material.
Yeah.
But here it says, therefore without any love or hatred and performed in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of the Supreme, without self-satisfaction or self-gratification, are called actions in the mode of goodness. I would have thought that something in Krishna consciousness would be pure goodness.
Pure good.
So is this in reference to...
Arjuna is fighting. Fighting means is done in mode of passion, but is fighting in mode of, in Krishna consciousness. So that becomes sattvic, in pure sattvic, Suddha sattva. That means what is done for the satisfaction of Krishna under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master, without any personal motive or anything, then that becomes done in the mode of Suddha sattva. Apparently it is done in mode of passion, but it is done in Krishna consciousness, fighting, becomes sattvic. Sattvic means, if it is for satisfaction of Krishna under guidance of Maharaja, Suddha sattva. That is intended there. Yes. Otherwise, mode of this metal boards, the work done according to Guna, metal mode, is binding, result will be binding and put into bondage. But if that work will be done for the satisfaction Krishna and the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master, there will be no reaction. No reaction. That is varnashram dharma. Daiva varnashram dharma. Here Daiva varnashram dharma. Krishna speaks about Daiva varnashram dharma. And this is understood there. Without any effect, any result, the action, without love or hatred, says and purpose, Prabhupada says, only done for as a matter of duty in Krishna consciousness. That becomes sattvic, means pure sattvic. Yes, it is intended there. Pure sattvic, sattva. There is a little difference. There is a little difference between this Mishra sattva, mixed sattva, and pure sattva. Mixed sattva means there is a mixture of passion and ignorance. Whereas in pure sattva there is no mixture at all. It's only sattva. So this is only sattva. That is understood here. Yes, understood. Yes. In Krishna consciousness, done in Krishna consciousness. Arjuna is fighting in mode of passion. But that fighting is done for the satisfaction of Krishna, under the direction of Krishna, supreme authority, without love or hatred. Without love or hatred. Without any expecting any result. This is an example here, appropriate example. How? What is this work done in mode of goodness, sattvic? You understand? This understand. This pure sattva. And pure sattva is a pure devotion, Shuddha sattva. The devotees are in Shuddha sattva, whereas the demigods are in mixed sattva. You understand? Demigods are in mixed sattva. This middle mode, sattva. So there is a mixture of passion and ignorance. We find also in demigods. There is a mixture of passion and ignorance. Though they are in the sattva one is predominating, they are in mixed sattva, higher planetary systems. They do their work do their work fearing Supreme Personality Godhead, fearing Lord Vishnu, Krishna. Then Srimad Bhayat, Bhati Bhat Vayam, the wind God, the wind blows out of fear of me. Lord Kapil Dev says, Madhvayat Surjastapati Agni Dahati. Out of fear, the sun god gives light and heat. And out of fear, the fire god burns. Like that. Out of fear, Jamraj moves us death. It's out of fear. You understand? That means they are obeying the Supreme Lord or acting for the execution of the order of the Supreme Lord in Sattva. You understand? In Sattva. Their work is sattvic. They are in Sattva. Whatever they are doing in Sattva, but out of fear. Out of fear. You understand? Out of fear. These demigods' activities are in Sattva. Sometimes demigods also, because there is the mixture of passion and ignorance, is mixed sattva, Sometimes demigods also act for their own, keep up their own prestige. You understand? Name and fame, prestige, or for their self-motivation. You understand? Self-gain also. As for Lord Indra was chastised when the inhabitants of Gopa, Vrindavan, didn't perform Indra Puja. They performed Govardhan Puja in the Krishna like that. Because there is mixture of passion and ignorance. So sometimes they act like that. You understand? So that is not done in Krishna consciousness. This is there for their own prestige, keep up their own prestige or some motive, motivated by their personal whims, like that. So that is there. That cannot be said that is done in Sattva-guna according to this explanation given or definition given. Because they are expecting some result. They have attachment to this work. They have love or hatred. They are not free from this. But here says, without love or hatred, without attachment, without expecting any result, if it is done in Krishna consciousness, for the satisfaction of Krishna, Vishnu, it's sattva. That is done in pure sattva. Some little difference is there. But we say it's pure sattva, is not that sattva. Though it is categorized as sattvic work. That means, in other words, we may say also, is pure devotional service. Pure devotion. Shuddha bhakti. Is pure devotion. Shuddha bhakti. There is no other. Anyabhyasta sinnum jnana karmadi. Anabhrutam. Anukulyena krishnana shiranam. Bhakti Uttama, Rupa Goswami says. There is no other desire. You understand? They have no other desire. They are performing work. The karmi performs work with a desire, the material desire, to get some material result, benefit of gain. Whereas a devotee does the same work without any desire. Without any desire means there is no material desire at all. Only for the satisfaction of Krishna. Only for the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. No other desire. That's loving service. That becomes loving service and spontaneous service and loving service. You understand? That's Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion. But here, Krishna speaks about 3 divisions of work according to material modes. But while speaking sattvic work, that means in Krishna consciousness, you understand, the work done in sattva guna, but if that work is done in Krishna consciousness, without attachment, love or hatred, as a matter of duty, that becomes sattvic, is said. That means it's Shuddha Sattva. It's Shuddha Sattva. It's something higher than this Sattva, general Sattva. Because the demigods' activities are general Sattva guna. Because they are in Sattva guna. But sometimes they work for their own, to satisfy their own motive, whim. You understand? Sometimes they disobey the order of Supreme Lord. They disobey. Therefore they are chastised. They are also punished also. Some punishment is also inflicted on them. Because there is mixture of passion and ignorance in Mishra Sattva. But it is pure Sattva, Shuddha Sattva, there is no mixture at all. It's pure sattva. This is done with love towards Krishna, out of love, spontaneously done out of love, without desiring any effect from then return from it. You understand? Doing some work and we're expecting a return. No fruit, no result. It's out of love only. This is pure devotion. But here, the sattvic work is a little difference. It's a little difference. It is not pure devotion. Krishna is not speaking about pure devotion. No. It's sattvic work. Sattvic work, but that done in sattva gun, but under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master, without love and hatred, as a matter of duty, as an offering towards Krishna, is karmarpana. It is karmarpana. You understand? You work according to your mode of nature, guna, but offer that result for Krishna. Don't for your own satisfaction or enjoyment. It's karmarpana. It's that type. You understand? It is not Shuddha Sattva. It is that type. It's karmarpana. This is karmarpana. You understand? This is work done in mode of goodness, but result is offered to Krishna under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master. It is karma. Karma is not Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is spontaneous. It's out of love. Only love towards Krishna. No other desire is there. But it is, these three divisions when we speak, it is for conditioned souls. It is a material mode. But under the direction of a Bonafide spiritual master, the performer should understand this thing. He should give up expectation of result. He should give up the attachment, hatred, love, hatred. He should give up all motive like that. And his natural work he will do and offer its result for Krishna. This something we say, is something different from pure devotion. It's a low type of devotion. It's the Varnashram Dharma. You understand? It's something different, little difference is there. It's not spontaneous. It's spontaneous, it's not out of love. It is under mode of middle nature, done, but under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master. And the result is offered to Krishna. And by the instruction of the spiritual master, he gives up his love or hatred, his attachment like that. So this is material mode. This is not Shuddha Sattva. No, it is not Shuddha Sattva. Because in Shuddha Sattva there is no divisions. Sattvic, Rajasic or Tamasic. This is material mode. So when it is divisions are coming up, previously spoke about Rasi, Tamasi karma, then Rasi karma, then it becomes Sattvic karma. It's material mode. You understand? And most important is, you will naturally work according to the mode, material mode. You are obliged, you are forced to work, but let that work be done for Krishna. Let it be done in Krishna consciousness. Let it be done in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master. And offer the result for Krishna. This is karmarpana. You understand? So this work done in mode of goodness. Done in mode of goodness, not done in mode of passion or ignorance. It is done in mode of goodness, but without love or hatred, as a matter of duty, under the guidance of the Bonafide spiritual master, as an offering towards Krishna. This is middle mode. Yes, it is not Shuddha Sattva. No, it is not Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is above three modes, and is spontaneous and based on pure love towards Krishna. As the demigods are doing, demigods are under is in Sattva Gun. They are doing their duty or working, as I say, out of fear. Out of fear, not out of love. There is no question of love there. Spontaneous love, pure love. It's out of fear. But they are in mode of goodness. In higher plane resistance, quite different. They are not ordinary jivas. They are jivas and not ordinary jivas. Ordinary jivas have 50 qualities, whereas they have 55 qualities. You understand? Something more elevated. Still, their activity is not in pure sattva, it is mixed sattva. Mixed sattva. And whatever they do as a service, rendering service to Krishna. So they are also Krishna Dasas, Vaishnavas, because they are rendering service to Krishna under order of Krishna. They are carrying out the order of Krishna. So their activity is the sattvic. Sattvic. Do you understand? But sometimes there is, when it is mixed sattva, there is mixture of passion and ignorance sometimes. They act whimsically. They become puffed up. As the case of Indra. Many cases are there. And how this Nalakubera, Manipuri, they were there, heavenly planet, how they are caused by Narad Muni, because they are acting sinfully. You understand? Sinfully. So, because of this mixture of passion and ignorance. So this sattva guna is not pure sattva. It's that side of sattva. But if it is done under guidance of one of the spiritual master, without hatred, love, hatred, rag, dvesh, and the result is offered to Krishna, it becomes sattvic. It speaks of that sattva, not pure sattva. No. Pure sattva is something different, pure devotion. It's pure devotion. Spontaneous, without law, based on law. But here question, no, love or hatred. You understand? Rag, dvesh. That's different thing. But Krishna speaks about three modes of material nature, and accordingly, the three divisions of work, three divisions of charity, three divisions of knowledge, three divisions of penance, like that he is speaking. Then say not so, no. It is different. But most important is the same work, your natural work, if done under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master for the satisfaction of Krishna, that becomes devotion, but is a low type of devotion, Gauna Bhakti. Varnashram Dharma means Gauna Bhakti. Krishna speaks about Varnashram Dharma here. Gita speaks about the Varnashram Dharma. But in conclusion says, go beyond this. Go beyond these three gunas, Krishna says. Because that is the confusion position. Go beyond these three gunas. Ananya Bhakti. Jamang Abhicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate Sagunan Samatitani Tan Brahma Bhuyaya Bhakti. That is there. That instruction is there. That's the conclusion, latest, conclusive instruction. Go beyond these three modes and practice unalloyed devotion of Bbsr Bhakti, unalloyed devotion. And the Varnashram Dharma is a devotion, but it's low type of devotion, Gauna Bhakti. It is not Shuddha Bhakti. It is not pure devotion. is not Mukhya. Shiv is Gauna Bhakti. Gauna Bhakti, low type of devotion, is for conditioned souls. And those who perform unalloyed devotion, they are not conditioned souls. They are liberated. Sarvadhamman Paritijya Mamikam Saranam. Completely surrender, then you are free from clutches of Maya. Mami Paja Prabodyanti, Maya Mitam Taranti. If someone, Krishna is Maya Arhisha, is master of Maya, if someone completely surrenders to Krishna, the master of Maya, is free from the clutches of Maya. He overcomes Maya. Otherwise, you cannot overcome Maya. You understand? Otherwise, you cannot overcome Maya. But Varnashram Dharma is for conditioned those who are under grip of material nature. You understand? They are not free from it. They have not completely surrendered. They are under grip of material nature, and they are acting under the mode of material nature. This is Raja Tama Sattva. So this cannot be said Shuddha Sattva. No. Something that is wrong. This speaking three categories: Sattvic karma, Rasi karma, and Tamasic karma. Krishna speaks. It's for conditioned souls. The important thing is that this will be done under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master. So he will develop such thing without love, hatred, without attachment, and as a matter of duty. He should act under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master and offer himself to Krishna. This is for conditioned souls, Varnashram Dharma. This Sattvic, and this work is done in mode of goodness. And the result will offer to Krishna. Then there will be no attachment, hatred, like that. This is Shuddha Sattva. That's Sattva. This is not Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva is pure devotion. Pure devotion. It is not pure devotion, low type of devotion. It is a low type of Gauna Bhakti. Varnashram Dharma is Gauna Bhakti, low type of devotion. You understand? This one. And gradually, by doing the performance of action and doing that work in Krishna consciousness, conditioned soul will work, he must work, he cannot give up work, because Prakriti ko nijokhyati, the material nature will force him work, but if the same work which he does according to his guna will be performed in Krishna consciousness under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master, that becomes devotional service, though not pure devotion, mixed devotion. You understand? Done in Krishna consciousness. This is Gauna Bhakti, low type of Bhakti. And gradually, if someone does that work under the guidance of Bonafide spiritual master in Krishna consciousness, gradually his heart becomes purified. Then he will be elevated to pure devotional states, Shuddha Sattva. Then he will be elevated to Shuddha Sattva. This will enable one for elevation to that stage. So it is advised. This instruction is for conditioned souls. You understand? Because you are under the grip of material nature and three modes. The one who is in the mode of goodness, he should work in this way, under the guidance. Without attachment, without hatred, without expectation of any result, as a matter of duty, and offer it the result for Krishna. That's our people. Krishna says. This is important. Some little difference. It is not pure devotion, mixed devotion, low type of devotion. Gour bhakti. Varnashram dharma is Gour bhakti, low type of devotion. And this is for conditioned souls. Gradually it will be elevated to Shuddha bhakti, pure devotion. When his heart will be cleansed, well, purified completely of the tinge of material modes, by constantly working in Krishna consciousness, that will be gradual process. From Gauna to Moksha, from secondary to primary, like this. This is process. And Gita teaches this thing. The last instruction is the latest one. Sarva dharman paritijya mamekam saranam braja ahantam sarva papritya mukhishyam nashitya. This is the last instruction. When last instruction comes, the previous ones cancel. Completely surrender unto me. Give up all other religious. Whatever I said previously, give up all these things. Completely surrender unto me. You understand? When can one completely surrender? When your surrender will be complete, when you completely love Krishna. This question of love comes here. Unless you love Krishna 100%, you understand? Unless you love Krishna completely, you understand? Pure love, you cannot completely surrender. Your surrender may be partial surrender. Jejatamantram, Tanstativa, that also. Krishna says, one is divided according to the degree of surrender. So one who completely surrenders, 100% surrender, he is in love platform. Unless one in pure love develops pure love, he cannot surrender completely. You understand? Cannot surrender completely. This is question of love. Then he comes to the pure devotion. Then his activities, whatever he does, is pure devotional service. It's pure sattva. No question of the sattvic or Maharaja. No. Because here it's not complete surrender. No question of complete surrender here. It's conditioned state. Conditioned state, but in the mode of goodness. And this natural work should be done under the guidance of a Bonafide spiritual master, and without any attachment, without love or hatred, without expectation any fruit or result, or whatever result is gained or obtained, you offer to Krishna. That's it. Krishna says. You understand? This is it. This is not a Shuddha Sattva, no. This is not pure devotion. It is low type of devotion. There is no question of love, pure love here. It's just development. In this way, gradually come that platform of pure love. Then will completely surrender. Sarvadharma Vidyam. Give up all other religions, and whatever I said previously. You give up all these things. Completely surrender. And it's not easy thing. It's not easy. Unless one develops love towards Krishna, he cannot completely surrender. No. Surrender will be partial. Partial surrender. That's Krishna speaks. Krishna, latest concluding instruction is complete surrender. That's based on pure love. That's based on pure love. That stands. Latest one stands, previous one is cancelled. That's Gita's latest one. You understand? That stands, and previous one is cancelled. All these instructions cancelled. You understand? Purva and Para. Para eva balavattara, balya. You understand? The latest one is stronger. You understand? That stands. Whereas the previous one is cancelled. That is based on pure love. So ultimate instruction is pure love. This is ultimate, Shuddha Bhakti. But it begins from Gauna Bhakti, from Varnashram Dharma. And that will ultimately come to Shuddha Bhakti. This is ultimate.
Text 24. Translation. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires, and which is enacted from a sense of false ego, is called action in the mode of passion. Text 25. Translation. And that action performed in ignorance and delusion, without consideration of further bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury and is impractical, is said to be action in the mode of ignorance. Purport. Sorry, shall I read the whole thing? And that action performed in ignorance and delusion, without consideration of future bondage or consequences, which inflicts injury and is impractical, is said to be action in the mode of ignorance. Purport. Impractical. Purport. One has to give account of one's actions to the state or to the agents of the Supreme Lord called the Yamadutas. Irresponsible work is distraction because it destroys the regulative principles of irresponsible. It destroys the regulative principles of scriptural injunction. It is often based on violence and is distressing to other living entities. Such irresponsible work is distressing. Such irresponsible work is carried out in the light of one's personal experience. This is called illusion, and all such illusory work is a product of the mode of ignorance. Shall I read the translation again?
Previous verse, Krishna says the action performed in mode of goodness, sattvika karma. Now, in these two verses, he speaks of the actions performed in mode of passion and mode of ignorance. The action that is performed in mode of passion is performed with much endeavor. And
It's connected from a sense of false ego.
And it is connected with the sense of false ego.
Yes.
Mahataramati karama. And also that's this is actions performed in mode of passion. And actions was performed in mode of ignorance, what he says?
Without consideration of future bondage or consequences.
Without consideration of future bondage or consequence.
Which inflicts injury.
To others.
And is impractical.
Inflicts injury to others.
Yeah.
And impractical.
Yeah.
That's actions performed in mode of ignorance. Tamasi karma. According to the 3 modes of material nature, conditioned soul performs 3 types of action. Sattvic karma, rajasic karma and tamasic karma. And Krishna speaks about it. Out of the 3 modes of material nature, sattvic, sattva, gun, mode of goodness is something better. Sattva sanjayaka jnanam, sattva sukham also. If someone will be elevated to stage of sattva, you understand that crossing these 2 other modes mode of ignorance and passion, someone elevated to mode of sattva and will be situated in that mode, he is somewhat more elevated in comparison to the persons situated in the mode of passion and ignorance. So, that person will do work with some conscientiousness, and he can understand the philosophy, the knowledge, higher knowledge. But these two types of persons, those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, cannot understand this higher philosophy. Their consciousness is low type and is not so, blossomed as that of the consciousness of a person situated in mode of goodness. So, Rajasam Lobhayevachaha. Those who are in this state, those who are in the mode of passion, they are generally very greedy persons, material greedy. They perform actions with much endeavor for fulfilling their material desires because they are greedy persons. They are greedy enough for the acquisition of material wealth, name or fame, like that, which will help him in fulfilling his material desires. And he toils very hard like an ass. That Krishna says that the action, ayasam. Ayas means effort, so much effort he does. So the result of that action is bondage. Definitely, reactions must put one person, such person, into bondage. Moreover, the reactions of those who are performed in passion also give one much distress.